Suppose जो एक objective examination है, you just tick MCQs है, as you would normally get call the examination. The second stage is the mains examination, जो आपका written examination है, which has written papers, कोई GS के papers होते हैं, optional आपका जो एक अपना subject होगा, and the pattern has changed this year. So how many of you have actually gone through that pattern? Okay. नहीं भी पता तो इतना सिंपल है. Earlier GS के 2 papers होते थे. Now for every paper that you have, GS is general studies. Now you have 4 papers, and now you have 1 optional जिसके again 2 papers होंगे. Besides this, you have some language papers which are like your qualifying papers. ठीक है? And then the last stage of the examination is the interview stage. Now this is the entire examination phase takes a year. And that is when you clear every stage of the examination. You clear the prelims, you go to the mains, you clear the mains, you go to the interview stage. So this is a very long phase, पूरा 1 साल लगता है इसमें. तो इसकी preparation में भी इतना ही आपको time and energy and resources अपने invest करने पड़ते हैं. So the first thing is that when you prepare for your prelims, तो आपको अपना you see that there are 2 papers in your prelim stage. You have a CSAT paper, which is your aptitude testing and logical reasoning, which people relate with CAT, but is not that related to CAT in the sense कि इसका level अभी भी बहुत basic है as compared to CAT. But then you will find a fair level of logical reasoning component, language component, and it has a very subtle जो है ना जो उसका कहेंगे complexity in the sense that they play with language here. So the main idea is to test whether in an examination stress phase you can answer with your composure, because अगर आप stress में answer कर रहे हैं, you will not read the question properly, you will falter into traps which are given in form of options. So that is the kind of thing which is tested in CSAT. Coming to the GS is more knowledge based component, and it is usually said that if you follow the past year's newspapers very consistently, the current affairs, you can answer a significant portion of the paper. But that is वो सिर्फ एक component है उसके अलावा आपका जो knowledge component है from all your history, polity, geography, all these components make a fair big portion of the paper. So these 2 combined things will make your the prelim stage. अब इसके preparation जो है, आप you cannot really figure out ये मेरा prelims के लिए है, ये मेरा mains के लिए है. That kind of classification is always not possible. कुछ चीज़ों में आप figure out कर सकते हैं, कुछ चीज़ों में आप नहीं figure out कर सकते. So at the first level when you start, you have to increase your knowledge base. I'm sure all of us have been very consistent in school, सबने सब कुछ पढ़ा है. But when that comes with a all new different perspective in this examination, उसको थोड़ा और detail में आप पढ़ते हैं. तो आप जैसे जैसे उसको करते जाएंगे, as you come into that phase, you will realize, you go into the depth of it, because knowledge is a sea. You go into it, you go deeper and deeper into it, you get more. But then there's a limit from an examination perspective. You cannot specialize into one field only and ignore the others. तो आपको अपना general base बढ़ाना है with a fair level of depth. I hope you getting what I'm saying. It has to be depth, length and breadth. दोनों length, breadth and depth, तीनों चीज़ें हैं इस aspect में, और ये आपको हर उसमें करना पड़ता है. Some areas can be the strength areas, some will be your weak areas or not so strong areas. तो वहाँ पे आप relative एक general base लेके चलते हैं. Then you have your specialized subject component which forms your optional paper. For example, she has economics, I had economics, so I can speak more about that. He can have PubAd, he will be more able to speak about that. She has geography, for example, वो उसमें specialize करेंगे. तो मेंस के perspective में जब आप करते हैं तो you see what kind of questions have been asked, because that's the first thing that you do. If you aim for an examination, you see कि पूछते क्या है examination में. So you see the past papers, you see what kind of questions are being asked, and whether you feel comfortable in that area or not. If you've been going through your subject for quite a while, can you answer those questions on basis of your depth of knowledge? And if not, you need to brush up on them. So you have to see these things. Interview is the last level of your stage in the examination, and it is more or less like an interaction. It can be a structured interaction, it could be a haywire interaction. That depends upon the interview board to a great extent. And this is how you make it. this is how I have made it. So this is what I can say. It's achievable, but nevertheless, it's very stressful at times because it's a long phase. You will go through different cycles, ups and downs, but then it's a part of the examination. You had a question? Any other?
जो प्रिपरेशन है वो 1 year जिससे अप्लाई करना उसका 1 year बैक सफिशिएंट है कि ऐसा मैंने करना स्टार्ट करें?
सफिशिएंट है, एटलीस्ट मैंने ऐसा किया है, पर मेरे साथ उससे एक एडवांटेज ये रही है कि मेरे ऑब्स्टकल्स हैव कम फ्रॉम माय ओन बैकग्राउंड. So if you take that into the study time as well, so that will make it a fairly long period then. But if you're confident, you give quality time to yourself and to your subject, then that's more than enough. Otherwise, I personally feel that it's a lifelong process in a way that right from your schooling, a lot of things help. Something you've done in school helps you sitting in that examination hall. Something you've done in your college level, something you might have just read in a passing way might just come and help. But these are things that are chance factors or something. But you have to develop an aptitude. You go through the newspapers, you go through that. These things help. Other than that, a full year of dedicated preparation should be more than sufficient.
What about the history portion? Because we have to read from the entire ancient times, the Mughals, even more before that, till the time of current. So what's the area of pattern?
See, history is one thing which will not change. It has already happened. So right from your ancient to your modern, I mean the independence struggle phase is usually known as the modern history. Right from a little before 1857 and thereafter till the independence stage. So everything is important. In a way, as I just said earlier, there are several subcomponents to it, and UPSC has this knack of asking anything. In a year, history might just come as a very small portion. The next year, it might come as a major portion of your GS paper. So that way, things are like unpredictable in UPSC, and what you have to do is that you have to do everything, but then things also depend on chance. But it's not as in that this is more important and this is less important. It's how you do.
There's an equitable chance of everything coming up, so you don't need to stress upon one subject as
you have to make a fair level of understanding for all your components: history, polity, geography, science. Everything is important. Nothing is unimportant here. It's only in an examination what is asked. Sometimes geography may be asked, sometimes history may be asked, sometimes polity may be asked more. But they ask everything. You cannot leave that, okay, let's leave geography because history is more important. No, that's not the situation. That the best approach in this examination is to do everything, to your best of the effort, to the best of the understanding you feel which is required for the examination. The rest depends what chance also and what is asked in the examination. That kind of element is left to UPSC, to just prepare everything and go. Anything besides UPSC, because I've also given CAT in my college. So I have given one more competitive examination. However, I realized that it was more of a fad that I was following, that everybody is doing it. इसको I think हिंदी में कहते हैं भेड़ चाल चली है. So that's how it comes. Anybody preparing for any other competitive examination, because I feel at the end of the day, every competitive examination is testing one thing. It tests how you perform under stress. It tests your composure, whether you can maintain it or you cannot maintain it. Because every examination, every level will give you stress. It has to be positive. If it's too much stress, it will reduce your performance. Some level of your positive anxiety helps.
Would you suggest that while preparing for UPSC, we take another exam like law because it's linked to it, or any other exam?
See, it depends with your area of specialization. Like if you want to take law because you feel it is your subject, your area, you must do it. Because like I did it for my economics. And there's a special exam called the Indian Economic Services, which is conducted by UPSC itself. So I took that examination. I thought that I'll take it as a mock. Let's see, because UPSC offers an opportunity to economics people that they have another separate examination. So I took it and I cleared that also. They give me confidence. So if you feel that in your area, in your subject, you're comfortable enough to take up a examination, take it up, go ahead.
You may ask other questions, Bharti.
What are the benefits of doing IES?
Benefits of IES. See, you like economics, you do IES.
No. In spite of that, what are the jobs available and the areas where we work?
See, IES is a specialized job. Theoretically speaking, it is at the same level as your class 1 services. It is also a class 1 service. But here the area of specialization is different. In civil services, you will find an administrative component, public dealing component. In IES, it is policy making component that overpowers. You are there with the Ministry of Finance. It's more the behind the curtain job. Rather than administrative people apply those policies, they will implement those policies. IES people make those policies. And now the expanse is increasing. Till now the service as it is very small in terms of number. But now it's because it's a highly centralized service, it's only under the government of India. But now different states are demanding, because they want to streamline their economic planning. So states are demanding for more IES officers. So it's still on cards. They're planning to make IES as an all India service. I think in the next 4-5 years you will see that change.